For our final experiment, it involves hydrophobic sand, also known as magic sand. It is created by coating sand grains with a water-resistant chemical compound called trimethyl hydroxysilane. Dis 'n groot woord vir 'n groot rede. Our experiment begins by introducing the hydrophobic sand into a beaker of water. As you observe, a pocket of air forms around the sand due to the presence of trimethyl hydroxysilane. But the real magic unfolds when my dear friend Qhamisa removes the sand from the water. And what you will witness is truly astonishing. The sand emerges dry, seemingly untouched by water. He will now attempt to place water droplets on top of the sand. Show the judges. They defy gravity and remain suspended on the sand's surface, thanks to the remarkable properties of this magic sand. Finally, when he lifts the beaker, you will see the water droplet bending the water surface, showcasing the captivating interaction between hydrophobic sand and water. And to end off our experiments, the boys of Rylands High School would like to say something. At the Science Expo, Rylands High shines the way. Our motto, partnership towards success, guiding our display. Thank you.
Good afternoon to all. We are very excited to be conducting some extremely intriguing experiments on behalf of our beloved school, Rylands High School. Let us begin.
To start off, we will be demonstrating what we like to call the beverage illusions experiment. The safety precautions for this experiment would be to not consume any of the substances and keep them away from the nose and eyes. I will be adding a mixture of sodium carbonate to a mixture of phenolphthalein and water. Phenolphthalein is an indicator and it will turn pink because sodium carbonate is a base. I will be adding this solution into another test tube with barium chloride and water. This reaction decolorizes the solution and causes it to become milky white. Lastly, I will be pouring half of the milky white solution to a mixture of potassium dichromate and hydrochloric acid. This then causes the solution to change color. That was
was a really fun experiment. Now we would like to move on to our fun and simple, which is called a non-newtonian liquid, or as a very common name, oobleck. My good friend Zahra will be demonstrating how to do this, and I will be explaining what it is. We will be adding 2 parts of corn flour to a beaker, and we will be adding color water just to give it that small effect. What happens is that the molecules, it can mimic a liquid and a solid. When you add the liquid, it forms into the solution. When pressure is applied, it turns into a solid. When it's relaxed and no pressure is applied, it turns to a liquid. This happens because when pressure is applied, the molecules form together, which forms the solid. And when it's relaxed, all the molecules spread apart to form the liquid. This is a really fun and simple experiment, and we would like the judges just to try it for themselves.
For our next experiment, we call it invisible ink, and we will now demonstrate how it works. So we start by writing a message on a piece of paper using lemon juice. Note that we can write any message that comes to heart. Lemon juice contains carbon compounds that are invisible at room temperature. See, the message is now invisible, and we will just show you. So the heat breaks down the compounds and releases carbon. The carbon oxidizes when it comes in contact with the air and turns it brown, making our invisible message visible under the heat. So for our safety precautions, we have a first aid kit, and we have a fire extinguisher in case of any fires. Our invisible message is now visible under the heat. Thank you.
Next up, we will be having what we like to call the whoosh experiment. The safety precautions we took while conducting this experiment was to not wear loose clothing, keep our hair tied back, wear goggles, and also to stay away from the flame.
The ethanol will be poured into the bottle, and she will then coat the bottle. Ethanol is an acid, so when the flame is brought near the bottle, the fire will take up all the oxygen that's in the bottle, causing a whooshing effect.